Fast internet, speed internet, slow internet, spotty internet. There's many types of internet services these days, and a lot of them are just messy. But I decided to take the time to set up a very good home network. Hey guys, my name is Chibike Manosta. I'm a software engineer based here in Lagos, Nigeria. And if you are new here, welcome. If you've seen me before, let's dive right in. So, we all know that internet connection is really important in this digital age, especially as a software engineer or as a creator or whatever you do, right? It's actually very important. And Nigeria is notorious for very spotty internet. So, when Starlink came along, a service that promises to provide reliable satellite internet connection all across Africa, is being handled and created, or rather, well, it's been managed by your boy Elon Musk, and its service is available here in Nigeria. When it came around and promised such, I decided to jump on board and see how it is, and I decided to take the opportunity to also build my home network. Now, in this video, we're going to be exploring the process of me coming up with this home network idea and building it, and also taking a look at the Starlink service itself and how it has been performing for me. I'm pretty sure there's some other amazing videos out there on the internet, but this is just my own experience of it. So take it with a grain of salt. Your location might just be bad. Either ways, let's dive right in. By the way, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you're new here or if you want to see more videos like this. Just hit it. I'll appreciate it. When it comes to building a home network, several components have to be taken into consideration. This includes designing it, setting it up, creating a network map, managing them, and setting up an internet service provider, in this case Starlink. Now, each of these steps is very important in setting up a seamless internet connection that can cover a wide area. So let's take a look at designing the home network. Now, when it comes to designing my home network, I decided to opt for the Wi-Fi mesh network topology, right? I am not opposed to the more traditional Ethernet connections that go around the different the different locations and wire these devices to a strong Ethernet position. This actually provides very strong, reliable service all around the home, right? But then there's the problem of wire clusters, having different wires in different locations, and I don't want to have that. It's too stressful to set up, right? So I decided to go with the Wi-Fi mesh network. What does this mean? It simply means a couple of Wi-Fi mesh devices or access points, right, through which you can actually connect each of these access points to each other, right, like a mesh. One is receiving service from the other so that it can provide or extend that network to a larger area, right? So I'll have one device connected to the main network, extending that main network service to an area, and then the other device connects to that second device and extend that network service again to another area, right? So it's a mesh network, and it will likely provide the best coverage in terms of speed and optimal performance. Now, once my design was finalized, the next step was to set up my internet service provider. You can actually work with any service provider in this case, but I went with Starlink. There are service providers in Nigeria. I was using Swift previously, but I switched, right? No diss to Swift, they are very wonderful. They are wonderful. Trust me, they are. I mean, I had no issues with them for like years, and I was using their service constantly, right? And I will still go back to using Swift. I bet, don't ban me. I'll still go back to using Swift, if anything happens, right? But Swift was good. There's also MTN. I don't know what MTN is doing. I never thought to really dive into MTN service, and there are other providers all around. Now, after setting up my internet service provider, I had to set up my system as a whole, right? So I went to Computer Village to try to get a couple of devices, right? The two mesh devices that will actually provide this service from the main modem, and then a couple of hubs to actually be able to get Ethernet connections from these mesh devices, and then some TP-Link cables, right? I actually got a very large box so that I can actually create any length of cable I need, and I got some network crimping devices. I actually learned a bit of networking so that I can actually be able to create these devices and these different network ports for my multiple devices that may not have Wi-Fi modules in them. Now, after accomplishing that, the next step was to unbox my um devices and start setting them up. I set up the satellite dish on the roof and then connected multiple devices to them. Now, Starlink is actually a very interesting technology. The technology that works within Starlink, it uses what we call wave oscillations, right, to be able to transmit these wave signals in a single straight beam to the satellite. Now, the satellite is not geostatic; it's actually moving in the across the earth in different, and it can be in different positions during the day, right? So the device has to actually link to it in a single beam, and this beam is actually being manipulated by a couple of systems within it. I cannot dive deeper into it. I'll link another video down below so I can actually see how this actually works. Very interesting technology, and I actually enjoyed watching that video. That's why I'm going to be linking it. So I set this up on the roof to try get very good coverage. Now, the best thing to do with Starlink, I realize, is to actually find an area that doesn't have any obstructions, right? Nothing blocking it, and the roof was the best place for me. I tried several times to set it up on the floor. I couldn't, or around, or anywhere else. I couldn't really do that. The roof was just the best place. So after accomplishing that, the next step was to set up the different devices within the home, right? Plugging in my mesh devices at the positions that I would like them to be in, and also crimping some cables to connect to them in different positions and different areas. This wasn't really difficult. There are so many videos on YouTube to actually achieve that, right? And at the end of this, I had to simply do a network test. Now, Starlink provides, or rather promised, that they will provide speeds of up to about 80 megabytes per second and above, right? Well, typically I've been receiving about at least 51 megabytes per second, right? On the low end, I can actually get, that's 51 is on average. On the low end, I could actually get about 36, right? And on the high end, I would likely be getting about 120. I've actually been getting signals of 120, right? It depends on the position or time of the day, right? And rain and other things actually affect it, but it's not really a big deal in my case because I'm not living in the days of Noah, right? So with respect to that, the speed is actually quite okay. As of right now, I'm getting about 51 megabytes per second, as you can see, right? So it's actually very stable for the most part, but some people are complaining about it depending on their location, I think, and I think it actually operates much better if you put in a position that you can actually get better coverage, right? No obstructions. With that said, that brings me to the conclusion of this video. I hope you've learned a lot, and in the coming weeks we'll see how this goes. I think I'll make a follow-up video later on about me using Starlink for all these weeks and how it's improved my performance and the different ideas that I could work with around it. So with that said, thank you for staying to this point, and I'll see you in the next video.